Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rob Satcham here from Feedbackwrench. You know, when it comes to small businesses, entrepreneurship, and even as you grow into a large business, I just want to cover a couple of things. And really, I do digital marketing, but there's kind of two parts to what I do. We help people with their business acumen, just helping them understand their vision and identity, their brand and their voice. But their vision and identity is important. And it's the core of everything that you do as a small business operator. I just want to tell you a real story here real quick. I got a friend of mine that I helped with his small business with his digital footprint, and he came to me because he wanted a website, right? And most people want a website. Now, this guy is great. He's from high school. I'm 37 years old, graduated in 2000, so I'm barely maybe a millennial. He was in the masonry business, and as I sat down and started talking to him, at first it was all about the website. I want this features, can it show my new pictures? That's usually what it is. They have new photos, they haven't updated their old one, it's hard, it's not their deal. And he's like your typical entrepreneur in that he's just an executor. I think business comes down to two things. You have sales and execution. You need to get customers and set expectations and take their money, and then you need to do what it is you said you were going to do. That's kind of the two foundations when it comes down to all business. At its most core, in my opinion. Keep it simple, stupid, right? But he's at high execution. He used to work for a company doing masonry, and then he decided that, you know what, I can do it myself. Why don't I do it myself? And when he first came, it was all about the websites. As we dove in a little bit deeper into his business, I started trying to identify some things. Now, not every business is going to have all of these, but I just want to talk about what I call your vision culture. And I learned this, really it's from Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. It's also from my former employer and my church, eaglebrookchurch.com. But a great organization is going to know who it is, right? It's also going to have some banks on the river in terms of who it is and what it's willing to try in terms of strategies. But you should have a defined mission. Your mission is what you do. Then you have your purpose, why you do it. Then you have your values, and that's who you try to be while you're doing it, right? You want to see those values in all of your employees. So you have who you are, which is mission, purpose, values. A lot of times a nonprofit will have beliefs in there. You need to do the hard work of identifying, even if you're just a concrete guy, even if you're just a tree removal expert or whatever that is, do some work to figure out some qualitative differences or some real differences so that you're not just in the business of removing trees. Man, you're in the business of uplifting your communities and making them look great and helping them in times of need. Defining a quick, short, tight sentence. One that's not complete, but one that's memorable. Think memorable, short. Complete is not memorable and short. Complete is long, and it's hard for you to memorize, and then it's not portable. And portability means something you can say on command because it's short and it's meaningful, right? And like here, we've been working on our mission, and it had started with making the web your best employee. Now it's kind of morphed into we help more people find and choose you is kind of what I'm looking at. But your mission is important. Your purpose is your why, and that I've seen all sorts of stuff, but a purpose in your mission does a number of things. It's going to uplift your employees to really think more than their day-to-day. It's something that you can tap into to be more than just about your day-to-day. A lot of people will roll their eyes as they hear that, but I'm telling you, identify a purpose for why you exist. So the reason why I exist, ultimately there's my own personal mission is to bring glory to God in all that I do, but I want to help maximize the efforts of entrepreneurs and help create more entrepreneurs. I want to do that because I think there's a way towards economic freedom that not everybody knows about, and the education system does not inform people. So that's kind of my purpose of why I do what I do. Why do I help businesses have more people find them and choose them? Well, I want to maximize the efforts. It's what drove me at Nuance Financial Tax and Accounting to help maximize their efforts and save them time, money, and taxes, right? So mission is what you do, purpose is why you do it, values are who you are. And I think it's important to say, what are your defined values? The businesses that take time to define the types of values that they want within their people, and think 2 to 5, right? You don't have a whole bunch of them. Mine are to be trustworthy, competent, enjoyable, and rigorous. Trustworthy, competent, enjoyable, and rigorous. So when it comes to rigorous, I hate coddled ideas. I want you to attack ideas. I want us to work very hard at everything we do and think through everything. Trustworthy means always seeking the best interests of our clients and always having integrity. Trustworthy, competent. Be a learner in everything that you're doing. I exist. Anybody that I have, if you don't know the answer to the problem, I want you to go out and find it. I want you to hustle. I want you to be a learn-it-all, not a know-it-all, right? Trustworthy, competent, enjoyable. Let's have fun while we're doing this. We don't have to be stuffy, crusty, mean, crabby people. We can take our work serious, but we don't have to take ourselves so serious. So trustworthy, competent, enjoyable, and rigorous are my 4 values. I think if you find the values that you want in your corporation, your company, that's going to help you. But now you have your strategies. That's how you do what you do. Or your strategies are like the types of things you're going to do in order to accomplish your mission, right? Now, strategies are critically important. Do the Hedgehog Principle from Jim Collins. A fox versus a hedgehog. A hedgehog is good at 3 things. It rolls up in a ball, it eats worms, and it stays safe. A fox is a master of none. He isn't really great at anything, and he just scratches out in existence because he says yes to everything, but is never great at anything. Whereas a hedgehog doesn't try to do hardly anything, but is great at those 3 things. Now, so in other words, stick to your core niche or your core focus. This Hedgehog Principle is about identifying your core focus. When it comes to your core focus, you want these strategies or what type of work you do to fulfill 3 things, okay? It needs to drive your economic engine. It needs to be something you're passionate about. It needs to be something that you are great at or you can be great at with your skills, your team, your experience, whatever that is. So drives economic engine, something you're passionate about, and something you can be great at. You know, the whole idea is I will never be a great bookkeeper. I'm not Captain sit down and do checklists all day long. But if I sit within my strengths as a company and I have people around me to help me. So this is personally and then business, right? But the idea is that you can create your sweet spot, your hedgehog concept strategies, the type of business you'll do. So what does that look like? You know, when we were doing taxes, the Hedgehog Principle said we don't do tax returns. We serve as an outsourced accountant for a flat monthly fee. We will do proactive tax planning to save you money. We'll keep you compliant and we'll do all the screwing around and save you time, right? We knew that doing a retainer monthly work for that was much more attractive than the feast or famine cycle of tax returns. In fact, I could go on and on about that. In remodeling, if you're a remodeling contractor, you know, doing $25,000 or $30,000 bathrooms is probably work that you could barely scratch out in existence. So if you try to say yes to every little job that comes your way, you're going to struggle. But if you decide to be a design-forward remodeling contractor, invest in designers that can help you make an amazing process and an amazing end product that's genuinely tailored for that person, tailored for that house and to that budget, and you start to sit into that $60,000 to $60,000 and up or $80,000 and up, that type of business will probably drive your economic engine better. So in the concrete world, we did some hard work with a couple of my concrete contractors. You know, just doing slabs and stairs and repairs and even commercial work is really hard because the margins are so thin. What drives a couple of my customers' economic engine is doing concrete patios. And concrete patios are great because they're retail, so you have margin. There's something that they can plan and be a little bit more flexible with because there's not this hard thing, so they can do many of them at a time. And it's just a great type of business. So when you think about how you're going to align your business, think that through and then use your website and your digital presence to project what it is that you do. And that's the beauty of your website. Your website shouldn't just be a representation of what you do now. It should be a vision casting of the direction that you're heading in the future. And that doesn't mean that you teach everybody what your mission is. It doesn't mean that you walk through all of your values. But you know what it does? It informs you how you frame up the type of client you like to serve, the stories that you tell of the clients you have served. I hope that helps you. I hope that's helpful. Keep pushing on, keep pushing forward. I got a great meeting coming up here, so talk to you later.